Slept in, cause I don't care, and didn't make the bed. Sip coffee on my couch, what can I do instead? No work, it's only fun, cause it's all okay. Cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. It's my lucky day, my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day.
The river Spree here in Berlin to the river Thames in London.
And I have to start with this, right? So, for you, what is Intelligent Enterprise Institute, right? What is it so special about it? And from London, straight to New York City.
Hello, and welcome to our launch event of our first location of the Intelligent Enterprise Institute here in North America in New York City. My name is Megan Taylor, and I will be your host today. Joining me on stage is Bob Marchand, head of SAP MaxAttention North America. How are you today, Bob? Are you excited to be here for this event?
Very excited, Megan. Excited to be launching the Intelligent Enterprise Institute in North America after having earlier launch events in Berlin and London. What better way to do this than live from New York? In this case, from SAP's magnificent Hudson Yards office, rather than a late night 30 Rockefeller Center.
I would like to say hello to all of our guests online streaming this event through YouTube. Ralph, how are our guests online doing today?
People from different customers online, and so they are also thrilled to listen what is happening. Also, when I look into the chat of YouTube, so we have people there asking us also to come to different parts in the world, and then so please go on.
That's great to hear, Ralph. If any of the guests have questions, they can ask in the chat and you will be able to answer them there. I want to mention that you might see some of our presenters in person with me today in New York City. We are all following the New York City COVID protocol, and we look forward to welcoming you back in person in Hudson Yards in the future. So, Bob, I know that Stefan and Jose are joining us from London and Waldorf, right?
Yes, indeed. Stefan and Jose, our co-founders, are also joining us. Stefan and Jose, how are things in Europe? Can you see us well? Is there... Jose, Stefan, can you hear us well? No, they can't hear us. Jose's on me. Give us a second to work this out. Jose, Stefan, can you hear us well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear as well?
Yes, we can hear you, Jose.
Okay. Let's go to the next one.
What about you, Bob? Can you hear us from New York?
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Sorry about that. So maybe you can tell us, what is the Intelligent Enterprise Institute and how did it all get started?
Yes, hi Bob and everyone. Yes, all good here in Heidelberg, and it's great to be part of this event, even remote. from here it all looks good, but of course, I would like to be there in New York with you, Bob.
Sure. Jose?
In London, things are actually also very good. I think I would like to say it's sunny here. It was all day. It's not anymore. It's quite dark. Now it's 9 p.m. here. But it does feel like a sunny day. And I guess despite the sound issues we have now here, I think we can start explaining what the Intelligent Enterprise Institute is and how it started. Stefan, maybe you would like to start with it.
Yes, thanks, Jose. So many of our customers, many of you are confronted with lots of new challenges to be solved. And, like making processes more scalable, intelligent, creating new business models, making processes more scalable, creating a better customer experience, at the same time, becoming more profitable and sustainable. And to do all of that at the same time is really not easy. It requires the right vision, mindset, methodology, skills, and a highly scalable tech platform. And, ideally all combined in one offering. So ideally something like transformation as a service. And our vision for the Intelligent Enterprise Institute is to help realize this promise and to help you truly accelerate digital transformation.
This is a unique approach to, one, helping customers think creatively about innovation opportunities for their business through a set of carefully selected experiences, and two, helping them put these ideas into action for their business. Was there an aha moment when you realized combining these two elements was key to helping our customers transform their business? Or was there a customer situation that inspired you?
No, Bob, I would actually say that probably there were quite a few customer experiences that led to this, where we actually found that doing a lot of workshops around innovation, around inspiration and ideation, we felt that having a good seamless transition from idea into business outcome was very important. And it was important for two key things. One was about getting the business users fully engaged into the mindset and also the process of continuous innovation. And then the second one, which is to ensure that outcomes were tangible, relevant, and that they could drip feed into the journey to support a long-term ambition of our customers. Now, how did we do this, right? And how did you start it? So it all starts with inspiration and ideation, right? It's where the Institute provides a platform for experiences to foster close exchange and collaboration between customers, SAP experts, our partners, and also think tanks that we collaborate with. And then is going seamlessly, following up with 4 labs. And those 4 labs focus on getting ideas we generate with customers into a tangible business outcome. Now, the 4 labs are grouped into topics that we believe are relevant for our customers, and that can be looked at either independently, but also in conjunction across each other. It starts with the process lab, which is used for process benchmarking and optimization, using intelligent technologies. The data lab for data strategy and also looking into new data-driven business models. The experience lab that focuses on bringing perspectives from all human stakeholders into the process execution, into the heart of the process. And then finally, the sustainability lab, which helps customers to validate or initiate sustainability initiatives, which can be strategic or can be at the process level. Now, the beauty of it, Bob, what I would like to say is that it's all orchestrated, all delivered. It's all with the content, with the experience, with the skills, and also with the methodology that is brought to our customers by SAP MaxAttention.
Great. Thanks, Stefan and Jose, for joining us. We'll proceed from here, but do feel free to jump in as you wish. So it is not a surprise that our sponsor is the Global Head of Premium Engagements, Kurt Bauer, and he's here with us today. Now I'd like to take us back to Waldorf, which is where we have the Global Head of Premium Engagements and sponsor of the Institute, Kurt Bauer. Kurt, welcome. We're delighted to have you with us today. You have played an instrumental role in getting the Institute launched globally. It would be great to hear what excites you about the opportunity for our North America customers.
Thanks, Bob, for your warm welcome. Actually, this is Heidelberg, but in a little snowy background, right? While Stefan was showing the sunny sunset in Heidelberg, and this is not Waldorf, right? So Waldorf looks quite different to this one. Hello everyone, also in New York City, in our Hudson Yard studio, and on the screens across the world. Today I'm delighted to be here with you to support the launch of the Intelligent Enterprise Institute. SAP MaxAttention customers are industry-leading companies and best-run businesses. Being heavyweights in the adoption of SAP solutions, it is imperative to us to keep them being successful, providing latest and greatest SAP capabilities and insights, and to grow jointly with their digitalization challenges. For MaxAttention, we are continuously evolving the service portfolio to keep the premium momentum and exclusivity. The Intelligent Enterprise Institute is a fantastic asset for SAP MaxAttention customers to align their board-level strategy with the transformational and disruptive capabilities of their solution.
Okay. We like to say that the Institute acts as a catalyst where we have customers' corporate strategy on one side and their IT strategy on the other. I would be very interested to get your perspective on how customers are evaluating their technology and service investments and the role we play with the Institute being a new asset in the SAP MaxAttention services.
Yes, Bob, you're right. The Intelligent Enterprise Institute is fulfilling the role as a catalyst to help our SAP MaxAttention customers accelerating their journey, becoming an intelligent enterprise, even more if we consider sustainability in this context. Our customers are leaders in their markets, and the adoption of SAP software helps them to stay strong in the market and to grow. The Institute addresses a real need that I see at clients every day. They bridge the desired business outcomes with enabling technology and a shorter time to value. Only our customers' success can be our success. So we support them accelerate their transformation. We enable them to adopt resilient business models and processes. We are a partner for them when creating disruptive approaches to stay relevant and to do new things. And we help them considering sustainability being at the key requirement to all of us. They can leverage their existing SAP MaxAttention engagements as an agile, fast-acting and stable service approach that makes it so simple to get everything together what we need. As part of the SAP MaxAttention engagements, the Institute brings to the table latest insights and a network of thought leaders, inspiration and ideation methodologies, creation of a unique customer experience, focus on business outcome to bring fast time to value from idea to result. And all this is being orchestrated together in a single platform.
Thanks, Kurt. I think your insights put it in context how the Intelligent Enterprise Institute can bring value. We are well aware of the guiding principles, and now more than ever, customers are focused on the journey component of committing to technology investments.
Exactly, and I think the Institute Lab's model structure and outcomes reflect how we accelerate the transformation of our customers' need. Of course, each journey and customer scenarios are varied and bring their own complexity and challenges. The lab approach brings the best of proven methodology, process, and focus to deliver these building blocks to each customer's unique objectives. This personalization is key to ensure customers are getting the best from their SAP MaxAttention engagement.
Indeed, the feedback from our customers that this approach works very well, even delivered 100% virtually. Can you share a highlight from a customer who has leveraged the innovation services we have embedded in the Institute?
I'm delighted you asked, Bob. A highlight for me was the role the team played in working with a large apparel customer. The US-based, not sharing a name here. The customer's vision is to become a self-driven enterprise aided by cognitive technology. Digital transformation with its end-to-end automation of business process and tasks eliminates tedious actions to free up human workers, seemed a perfect fit for the customer. Their daily operations involves lots of purchase orders coming from several external files that need to be posted into SAP's system. The manual execution of these tasks, as you can imagine, is time-consuming and highly prone to human errors. Expected benefits by using automation for the described processes are a productive PO creation process without employees' involvement at all, thus allowing them to turn their focus on other high value and innovative tasks. Ease of use in mass PO creation, scope of extending concept to other business objects, or faster processing time with increased efficiency. The team gave the guidance and direction to better understand their automation journey and to evaluate additional scenarios. I believe this is just one of many other customer examples we are bringing the value for our customers, and with the Institute and a combination of different lab experiences, even more.
A great example, Kurt. Thank you for highlighting. With that, I want to thank you for your time and ongoing support, and looking forward to sharing more stories like this from North America in the coming months. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Now moving back here to New York, and Megan, who is our next guest?
So a big thank you to our sponsor, Kurt Bauer, and our co-founders, Stefan and Jose. So from Waldorf, Germany, and London, let's come back to New York and put the focus back on North America. We'll start with a short video. Great. Now I would like to introduce our next guest here, joining me virtually, Michael Mahoney. Michael is Head of Services for North America. Welcome, Michael. It's great to have you. I remember you sharing the Institute message and vision with your entire North American team earlier this year. You were very enthusiastic to adopt and roll out the Institute for SAP MaxAttention customers in North America. What sparked that immediate enthusiasm?
Thank you, Megan. First, let me start by saying it's a great pleasure to be here with you from virtual Hawaii. I thought I'd bring a little beach vibe to the event here. But really excited to be here with you and the rest of the team for this launch. And I can tell you I'm even more excited today than when I shared the message with the team earlier. And what sparked that really was considering the impact the Institute can have from the lens of our customers. And really now more than ever, our customers need to squeeze every ounce of value from their technology investments, and this Institute is a great way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me why you were so keen to have North America as the first region outside of Europe to roll out the Institute. What's so special about North America?
Well, I have to admit I'm biased for North America, being a North American and head of our business here. But really, we have deep-rooted history of being out in front with technology, innovation, advancements, and entrepreneurship going back to the early industrial revolution, really. And we've got a heritage as a great trading nation, so it's really part of our DNA to seek value from investments we make, technology or otherwise. And when I think about the Institute, it's that marriage of innovation and value that the Intelligent Enterprise Institute brings that will truly resonate with our customers.
Right, absolutely. Are there any unique challenges that North America is facing that makes this event even more relevant right now?
Well, if you think about it, of course, in North America, we're not alone in experiencing the unique constraints we're living under in the pandemic. What we've seen is our customers have had to adjust to higher levels of remote working, of course, but really, significant challenges of the global supply chains, and that's been across most industries, I'd have to say. If you consider the personal challenges we all face with increased work from home, it's even more important for organizations to invest in their employee, customer, and supplier experiences, and then to really optimize their processes to provide sustainable profitability for the shareholders.
So Michael, what can we say to our customers regarding our next steps?
Well, so here in North America, we've got an amazing services team, and we now have the Intelligent Enterprise Institute offering for our SAP MaxAttention customers. So we really encourage you to take advantage of the Intelligent Enterprise Institute experiences to provide a foundation for identifying new ideas to help your business run at its best. And then really leverage the Institute labs that we mentioned a little while ago, and then we'll get into further in the event here to turn those innovative ideas into action across your business.
That sounds really good. And thank you so much, Michael, for joining us, and Bob for hosting us here today in New York. So, see you later, Michael. Speaking of turning ideas into action, it is exciting to hear that many possibilities available for our customers to experiment with innovation. We've heard a lot of information so far, Bob. Can you summarize for me?
Sure, Megan. We see that our customers do want to become more resilient, more profitable, more sustainable, and can do it by becoming intelligent enterprises. And that we can now offer here in North America the experience and the services of the Institute, all brought to our MaxAttention customers through MaxAttention. We built out 4 labs in North America: process, data, experience, and sustainability. Now we would like to focus on the process lab, where we'll have one of our leaders in our panel discussion today.
Yes, that sounds great. So now, speaking of that, I would like to welcome our panelists to the stage. Joining me in person today, we have Roman Herrera, who leads our Intelligent Enterprise Institute Processes Lab from North America, Premium Engagements, Innovation and Adoption Organization, and Craig Giron, Senior Director and Lead for Business Process Intelligence Services Go-to-Market in North America. We also have online today Wasilios Lolas, who's the Global Head of the Center of Excellence for SAP Business Process Intelligence. Thanks for being here today. So, Craig, let's start with you, please. Would you mind sharing some perspective on the process intelligence activity taking place in SAP North America?
Sure, thanks Megan. And I think this really builds off of what Michael was talking about and some of our other speakers, is that the pace of change is rapidly increasing here in North America. More and more customers are turning to look at how their business processes are performing as a way to navigate that change and that transformation. So as we think about it from a journey perspective, many of our customers are in different stages of the journey. Some are looking at digital resiliency, some are looking at new business models, but in order to drive all of those, underneath of that is the process of the business performance and how that can drive that change.
Absolutely. So how are we doing this?
It's interesting, Megan. As I mentioned before, that our customers are at different points in the journey. And a lot of them are looking to get initial insight into their processes to determine where they're at today. So one of the things they're taking advantage of is SAP Process Discovery Reports. So from a SAP ECC or S4 perspective, our customers can take advantage of these free reports, take data extract from their system, where we can actually see how their processes are performing today, where there's maybe a lot of manual effort involved in those, and where there's really opportunity to tie back to measurable KPIs to determine what you want to focus in on moving forward. So to date, our customers have run nearly 500 of these process discovery reports in North America. So I think, at the end of the day, this really validates the need to focus in on process as one of those key steps in transformation.
Absolutely. So what is the main purpose that the customers are requesting this report for?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, as I mentioned before, customers are unique in terms of where they're at in their journey today. And we really see 2 different reasons for customers triggering these reports and taking a look at their processes. One might be a large enterprise ERP transformation. That could be a move from ECC to S4, for example, an S4 upgrade, or completely new ERP replacement. The second is really more along the lines of I would call it an LOB process improvement initiative. So if we think about some of the, again, tying back to the themes that we talked about, Michael hit off on a great one, supply chain. That's one where we see a lot of our customers taking a look at those processes specifically in a way to start to think about where they could improve. At the end of the day, no matter what the customer's unique need is for triggering those reports and using those reports, it really comes down to a common goal. Each share the common goal of wanting to generate a business outcome. So if we can get to a business outcome that are enabled by these efficiently operating processes, it's very valuable for our customers.
Definitely. So Roman, can you share some more details around how the Intelligent Enterprise Institute can help our MaxAttention customers achieve outcomes for their unique transformations?
Sure, Megan, thanks for the question. Well, In general, the Intelligent Enterprise Institute is a very comprehensive service portfolio to accelerate the idea to value experience. So say that, the Process Lab focuses on processes optimization or optimizing these business processes. And the first step that we take at analyzing how to optimize those processes is, as Craig mentioned, extracting that information from their system, then doing this first evaluation about what is the performance that they are doing, and then we combine that with design thinking methodology. This design thinking methodology is now being enhanced with some pre-built content that will help us to do that process design in a more easier way. So this is using a value-based approach that all these services portfolio provide. We will help us to provide a more accurate guidance regarding what are the benefits and the transformation journey that you are looking for. And when I say comprehensive, we can go really as far to the beginning as the customer might be just willing to get started with some sort of an overview of what are these technologies, or what are these processes, or what are these tools about. And this overview also comprehends or comprises enablement on those, and all the way to how to really structure a workshop that will end up delivering a clear path for them to act on the information that we extracted from their system.
Great, thanks so much, Roman. So Wasilios, can you hear us okay?
Perfect, thank you.
Perfect, great. So Roman just mentioned that BPI tools are used in the Process Lab. In your role as Global Head of COE for BPI, can you please tell us more about the portfolio and offering?
Sure, thank you, Marilyn, with pleasure. So let me first start by emphasizing that when we talk about a successful business transformation, and it's crucial to combine the aspects of people, processes, system, and data. And as we all know from experience, when transformations fail, it's often because either IT and business do not work close enough with each other, or because the project people and the people on the ground are not aligned, or because there is a lack of insights and decisions therefore are made on gut feeling and without confidence. So SAP is trying to provide a tool set which allows to address these issues. And this is also why we acquired Signavio. Signavio is the market-leading process modeling company and provides also all the collaboration capabilities which truly allow to successfully collaborate between business and IT. On top of that, Signavio has a comprehensive process mining offering, which allows to analyze also the parts of the business processes that run outside of SAP systems. Now, if you combine this with our own capabilities, so the superior super fast analysis capabilities of SAP Process Insights, which we have for SCC and S4HANA systems, and all the content and the recommendations for improvement and the SAP capability recommendations that we make, then you really have an almost complete package. Because what we also provide is the automation and the workflow capabilities which allow them to improve and automate the processes. And thus, our customers, who typically start with the process discovery that Craig just mentioned, our customers can accelerate the time to value of their transformation projects and reduce the overall project cost and risk by using the products from the BPI portfolio in a combination with the SAP services.
Great, thanks so much, Wasilios. So, Craig, we just heard Wasilios talk about BPI. Can you share more detail on the importance of a business process first approach in the transformation?
Yeah, I'd love to, Megan. And Vasilius brought up a very, very good point. And it's really not just about a process itself. If we really think about it, business processes are the glue that holds the enterprise together. They're touching people, they're touching systems, they're touching data. So when we think about this holistically, that's where we see the importance of business processes and why a business process first approach to transformation, because we're tying the pieces of the equation of the transformation together sooner rather than later. And we can bring this holistic transformation view. We're able to start to really focus in on what are the strategic enablers to this transformation, tie those to important KPIs around that particular transformation initiative, all the way down to the business outcome, right? So when we can link all of these together, the process, the people, the systems, and the data under one kind of common theme, enabled by SAP capability with BPI, empowered by MaxAttention with our services. It's really a game changer for our customers and the results that we can deliver.
Craig, thanks so much for that perspective. Can you summarize the business process first approach and how is SAP helping with this vision of BPI?
Yeah, so as far as the business process first and the vision for BPI, just to kind of build a little bit and put a capstone on what Vasilios talked about, it's really about the end-to-end process transformation. So whether we're starting off the journey and taking a look at process insights, whether we're moving into working on process modeling to design a optimized to-be process state, or being able to manage that transformation through the ability to have complete transparency and governance between business and IT, and complete the journey through the ability to monitor that and continue to mine those processes. That's what we're really talking about, kind of end-to-end business process first, complete approach. But again, tools at the end of the day will get us so far, and they're fantastic, and they can drive a lot of value for our customers. But when we wrap that around putting those to work in the most effective, efficient way, again, it ties back to how we can start to really empower our customers to get there faster with the capabilities that we have with BPI when we're talking about services.
Absolutely. So Roman, how easy is it for our MaxAttention customers to get started with BPI? And can you give some insights into this process?
Sure, glad to. I would say it's fairly easy. It's a combination of one of the easiest tools to utilize and one of the also easiest services to get engaged with. You can start by requesting your one-time, free of charge process discovery analysis. There's plenty of information there. Will take a couple of hours. We've done these with several customers, by the way. Almost 20% of those 500 customers that you mentioned, Greg, are MaxAttention customers. And we are now delivering some of these workshops to explore the possibilities with them. So, but also touching back a point that Vasilios mentioned, it has to do with discussing or talking to business. And I think you will hear us emphasizing a lot of these talk to each other approach or request or plea on our side. And this is because discussing the purpose of extracting this system usage report or system performance report from the system, it has to do with how well this information aligns with the transformation strategy. So the technology could be very interesting, maybe a process could be also very interesting, but if it does not go in line with your bigger transformation strategy, well, we might end up, as Vasilios mentioned, like hitting a wall and probably running into some sort of frustrating exercise to say.
Great. So thanks, Roman. Back to you, Vasilios. Could you tell us more about the future and the potential next steps on the roadmap?
Sure. And as mentioned earlier, our current product portfolio covers many of the aspects of business process intelligence and business transformation. Now, the outlook and the roadmap that we want to take is basically expanding into two directions. The first one, is to enhance the content that we already have in terms of recommendations and best practices. Because keep in mind, the business process intelligence suite does not only contain the tools per se, but also lots of content. So just as an example, with SAP Process Insights, which is for ECC and S4 systems, as of today, customers can analyze 20 processes out of the box, including the respective process performance indicators and recommendations on how to improve. And in the next few months, we will easily double the number of out-of-the-box processes and process performance indicators and recommendations. Another example also in the area of content is the process manager from Signavio, so the process modeling tool from Signavio. Customers are able to easily preload the SAP S/4HANA process best practices and then use these as a basis for their process transformation with the intention to, well, apply the best practice as recommended by SAP or discuss how they can adjust them. So this is the one direction of enhancement, which is the content. The second is the integration between the various tools. So for example, we are working on providing business executives with what we call a company on a page so that they can monitor the health of their business processes independently on which system the data comes from. And also, as an example of integration, we're looking into strengthening the connection between the business process models that were created in the Signavio Process Manager and discussed, and the configuration capabilities in SAP Solution Manager or the Cloud Application Lifecycle Manager.
Great. Thanks so much, Wasilios. So, Ralph, I want to check in on our customers online. How are they doing? Do you have any questions for us?
So, questions are coming in, and then let's start with the first question I have. So, there was a question, how does SAP's recent acquisition of Signavio fit within the SAP Business Process Intelligence? I think, Megan, this could be a question towards Craig.
Craig, I will turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Happy to address that question. It's a fantastic question, and I think Vasilius hit on a few of these points, but when we think about Signavio, it really completes the picture from an SAP standpoint of end-to-end business transformation. What do I mean by that? The acquisition of Signavio allows us to reach out beyond the four walls of SAP. So now we can take a look at our customers' enterprise 360 degrees, meaning we can start to think about it not only from an SAP system perspective, but if we're looking at also third-party systems. So it's really the marriage of bringing together process insights, Signavio capability around process mining, customer journey modeling, process modeling itself, as well as integration with the business technology platform. And I really want to highlight this because this is key and this is a differentiator. So when we think about all of the great insights that we can see within our customers' processes, the action that we can take within Signavio to begin to model and mine and understand it to a greater degree, we want to be able to capitalize on all that improvement capability. And that's really where the business technology platform comes in. So when we think about being able to optimize, extend, transform business processes, it's about leveraging the business technology platform to do that. So when we think about BPI holistically, again, it's process insights, it's that Signavio capability, it's the integration into the business technology platform, because at the end of the day, to get to these outcomes that we want to drive, we want to be able to have the extensibility and integration of those business processes that we've identified that might be running suboptimally with the insights that we get from Signavio and the rest of the BPI suite.
Great. Thanks so much, Craig. And I heard we have a second question, Ralph. Can you share that with us, please?
Yes, there was actually a question also coming in here from participants from Zoom. So just, we also broadcast over YouTube. I also monitor their questions. And then this is one from actually from our Zoom participants, from our customers who are joining us directly. And I think this could be a question for Vasilios. Can another BPI tool sold by SAP in recent years, such as Celonis, be utilized in this new offering?
Yes, so thank you, Ralph, for that question. So as you probably know, SAP was selling Celonis as the process mining solution. You may also know that in March, Celonis decided to cancel their collaboration with SAP. This happened more or less at the same time when we announced the acquisition of Signavio. So I can say that from our perspective, from an SAP perspective, we are working towards providing a fully combined solution with not only process mining, but also the process modeling, the simulation capabilities, the improvement recommendations, the automation capabilities, all together into a combined offering. And from this perspective, the Celonis offering is not part of the suite, and at least as per current knowledge, will also not be.
Thank you, Vasilios. And then I think I have another one. So let's go with this one. So we are already engaged with MaxAttention Innovation Services. What else can I expect with the service the Institute is providing? I think this looks like a question for Roman.
Yeah, over to you, Roman.
Yeah, thank you. That's another good question, Ralph. Well, let's start first by recognizing that customers in North America, MaxAttention North America, they already have different levels of familiarity with innovation services portfolio. Some of them are already doing discovery workshops, running POCs, piloting some solutions. So, and also they have built internally different levels of expertise with their own labs, with their own research and development entities. And we are teaming up with them. And in the end, to your question, the IEI brings basically a change in perspective. As Craig mentioned before, Basilius mentioned before, this is about setting focus also on business outcomes. This is not just about integrating a new technology or enhancing an architectural landscape. This is really focusing on what are those business outcomes that we're looking out of adopting that solution. And then based on the MaxAttention services portfolio, we are now bringing all that knowledge and expertise that exists in the COE of North America. Colleagues are instrumental in all these. They are getting ready actually for delivering enablement for the IEI labs. They are now preparing the BPI services. They are also coming up with new packages on sustainability. So all these complemented with the new tools, the new BPI tools, and the expertise that MaxAttention program can offer, I think this is a perfect formula for accelerating that digital transformation.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Roman. Thanks so much for those details on the new tools and methods. So let's take a quick look at a video that explains the business outcome optimization methodology to give you a better idea of what it looks like when it's in action. Wonderful. So, Craig, Roman, on site with me. Any final thoughts for the audience?
Yeah, I would like to thank the audience first for their participation today. I think this discussion is really valuable, and what I mean by that is, I think the insights that processes can provide an organization can really, truly be transformative. And we're here ready to help and ready to get started. I think we talked a lot about how quickly we can get started with that data-driven insight. And when we blend data-driven insight with a great service framework, we can really have a fantastic conversation with our customers.
Absolutely.
On my side, well, just key takeaway, the IEI is still a services-based engagement model. This leverages holistic content, and it's aiming to deliver recurrent value to our customers. And the video that you just watched is part of this design thinking enhanced content that we are calling the business outcome optimization methodology. So utilizing this method to identify and explore the ideas in a very dynamic and a very structured way is something that we can also do remotely, by the way. So I think some of you have already experienced that. So looking forward to see you all and see our customers in the Intelligent Enterprise Institute, and thank to those members that are already joining in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wasilios, over there and abroad. Thank you for joining virtually. Thank you for the panelists joining me here on site. It was a great discussion. I'm really looking forward to seeing the next steps with our customers.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Awesome.
Thank you, Basilius.
So now let's turn to sustainability with a quick video to kick us off. Great. So I'm very excited to introduce our next guest here with me on stage. Welcome, Forbes Marsh. I know you're working at SAP in corporate marketing, and you will help us in our future story for the Intelligent Enterprise Institute here in North America, shaping experiences. So Forbes, can you tell our customers who are watching us online about your involvement into the sustainability journey?
Sure, happy to. Thanks for having me. Thanks to all of you also watching where you are. As of last year, I was part of a team focused on new product innovation, on holistic reporting and steering, on S/4HANA sustainability, focused on the intelligent enterprise. And to see that this initiative has really become a reality, and its first products have also been announced and lately introduced in the market, has really been magical. I must say that, of course, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to contribute to a brand that lives its purpose every day, and to help the world run better and improve people's lives, and tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit.
Great. And Holger Wittwer is joining us from Frankfurt this afternoon, and I know it's very late in Germany, so thank you so much for joining. Good evening to you and a warm welcome. Holger is the head of our Sustainability Lab of the Intelligent Enterprise Institute. Holger, can you tell us a little bit more about the Sustainability Lab?
Thanks, Megan. Happy to be here with you this afternoon. We at SAP, we want to help our customers to become responsible and sustainable enterprises, because we believe that only sustainable enterprises will be resilient, profitable, and successful. For us at the Sustainability Lab, it's important to understand our customers' use cases and business priorities first. Then we discover and design how to implement the necessary software to reach their sustainability goals. We do this with a customized program, including different advisory, assessment, and consulting services to your specific industry and your specific market situation. With our new and evolving sustainability portfolio solutions, we help you with concrete actions, reaching from jumpstart services to automated data collection for sustainability reporting. Forbes, tell our customers more on SAP's strategy, please.
Sure, I'd be delighted to. We've all seen that COVID has increased the need for a digital transformation by a lot. It's been a huge disruption, but it's also provided the foundation and an accelerant for sustainability to actually take place and take hold. With digital transformation, the ability to change, and of course the speed of change. All of this, of course, increased pressures on CEOs and executives as they have their own sustainability triggers and actions tied to their business needs. This is where SAP will contribute and offer a comprehensive solution that is on demand, and we will show you more about this with our portfolio in a minute. So really focusing on here, you can see on the screen here, situation, process, and of course our approach, which is key to put sustainability in the DNA, not only in our processes and layered into data, but also on your side, in terms of being embedded in parameters, insights into end-to-end processes throughout your business network. So our solution, again, which we'll get into in a minute, and the way forward. And Holger, what can SAP do today to start helping our customers with this important topic?
Yeah, our sustainability will enable you, our customers, to embed sustainability into your business processes, reporting, insights, and networks. Our holistic sustainability solutions and services provide transparency into financial and non-financial data, but also help our customers proactively address regulations, which is audible, automated, and of course near real time. Sorry. We know that sustainability is a journey and not a destination. So our goal is to make sustainability profitable and profitability sustainable.
Awesome. So now we'd like to take you a little bit through our solutions and our industry strategy. An overall strategy at SAP, the sustainable business strategy of SAP, and where we see that sustainable management is the key topic for SAP, but also, of course, for you, our customers. Sustainability goes across all industries and LOBs you'll see here. It's really about making it part of our DNA, and of course, share this with you, our customers. So This is the most recent and comprehensive view of our sustainability portfolio today. And you'll see in green, a lot of innovation has happened. New products have been grown from the core at SAP. And we've seen in the pipeline here labeled in black, that's our pipeline. And products in green are dedicated sustainability solutions that you can start using today. We also have planned go-live solutions that are also marked here as well. And just 2 weeks back, of course, we launched SAP Product Footprint Management. Holger, do you would like to kind of take us through the 3 zero approaches embedded in Sustainability Lab and what that looks like for our customers?
Yeah, sure, folks. So under the keyword zero emissions, we offer to support our customers in reducing emissions wherever possible, ideally towards net zero. To be able to do this, we must calculate emissions from the raw material through the production of semi-finished to finished goods, to the transport routes, and finally to the product delivered to the customer. Another area of our product portfolio deals with the goal of zero waste. This is about the circular economy and to the avoidance of waste. We optimize our customer supply chain so that they get all the insights they need from purchasing through production to sales. The goal is that we can reuse as much as possible. As the third pillar of zeros, we help our companies and customers to achieve zero inequality. Here we bundle all business processes that revolve around the well-being of communities and people. For example, worker safety to avoid accidents, but also equal pay and equal opportunity for all. So it's about creating equality. Studies show that employers who address this but also are transparent are those that prosper and are far more popular with the younger generation. This is a real decision criteria in the fight for the best talent these days.
Awesome, thanks Holger. And as you can see from where you're watching now, we want to help you, our customers, become intelligent, sustainable enterprises. We're here to support you in exploring the latest and most innovative solutions from SAP, but also experts, right? As well as completely new ideas that you bring with you. And we're happy to support you with first prototypes, design ideas. In addition, we are networked, of course, with other customers and thought leaders from various industries and are happy to bring them together. Holger, over to you.
Yeah, look, folks, for us, our customers are in focus. I therefore invite you, our customers, to visit us in the Sustainability Lab and together with us, first plan and then implement your digital transformation into an intelligent and sustainable enterprise. Some of you might be familiar of our SAP.io startups programs, where we are engaging with startups on these important topics we just discussed. And this could be an additional way for you bringing your challenge to us, and we from the Intelligent Enterprise Institute would be the linking pin between our MaxAttention customers and these programs. Megan, I believe you will talk about this later today, right? And I heard that you have a wonderful guest from SAP.io on site.
Yes, indeed, Holger. So Kange is here on site and looking forward to talking with her later. Thank you both Holger in Frankfurt and Forbes here in New York for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Great.
Wow, that was quite a journey through process improvement, innovation, and sustainability. Thanks for taking us through it. At the Institute, we like to look at things from multiple different perspectives. That is why we have partnered with some of the unique organizations that bring an outside-in perspective, and you will see that as you hear from our partners. Today, we have 2 speakers from SAP.io and Future.io organizations here to introduce the partner network we have included in the Intelligent Enterprise experience.
We are partnering not only with our startup initiative and think tanks, but we are also welcoming the Hasso-Plattner Institute as a partner. Some of your questions and business challenges out of our engagements might result in scientific research, and we are very happy to have them on board.
We do believe automation is a key to success and will be invaluable for business, while it is done to serve our human stakeholders. This is why we decided to partner with the House of Beautiful Business. The House of Beautiful Business is a think tank that focuses on the intersection of technology, society, and humankind. and we will tailor special events with them for you.
I'm extremely happy to have SAP I/O Vice President Kange Kanini here with me this afternoon. Kange, hope you have enjoyed our journey so far. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about SAP I/O and sustainability? How can our customers benefit from the startups within SAP I/O?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Megan. And thank you all of you for joining us today. Like Megan said, my name is Kange Kanene, based in New York, and I'm so happy to be here. I am the Vice President of SAP I/O North America Foundries. So today I'm going to talk about how SAP works with the most innovative startups to bring new solutions to our customers. I represent SAP I/O Foundries. This is a global network of accelerators that invites external startups. We have a great footprint in 10 locations across the world. As I mentioned, I'm covering North America, so that's New York and San Francisco. We were launched in 2017, so that means we've so far accelerated 330 startups. What we look for are startups that already have a product market fit, but also already have a handful of enterprise customers. We then invite them into cohorts, which are about 6 to 10 companies, and each location has 2 cohorts a year. What's interesting is the cohorts are thematic. That means each cohort we think about what are the market needs and also what is SAP looking for in terms of where are the gaps that we have a hard time filling for our customers. The reason why SAP is investing so heavily in SAP I/O is because we have what we call a triple win. First is the startups. So one of the main metrics we have is after startups go through the cohort, they will have an official partnership with SAP. That means they will have an integration into at least one SAP solution and be listed on SAP Store, which means they have access to all 450,000 customers like you. Secondly, of course, we think about how this benefits our customers. That means SAP is bringing to the customers a curated group of startups that are innovating where our customers want us to innovate, but also, as I said, also integrated into SAP so that our customers feel like they have more return on their investment, on the investment they've already made into SAP solutions. And then finally, SAP. We're happy to invite more startups into our ecosystem that win in places that, frankly, SAP is not able to win on its own. So this is not possible without close collaboration with customers like you. When you interact and meet our startups, a lot of times customers do things like host a proof of concept, pilot, innovation days, etc. This collaboration helps the customers extend the solutions they already have with SAP. Here on the slide, you'll see just a small sampling of customers that have already worked with SAP I/O, and a lot of them keep coming back each cohort. So I want to make sure to first really explain how customers like you can get involved. Right now, my team is working really hard to source for our next cohorts in New York and San Francisco that start in October. We're really excited about our theme this year. The overarching theme is sustainability. In New York, the flavor is consumer and retail, which means concepts like circular economy, clean packaging, etc. On the West Coast in San Francisco, it's energy and resources, which is topics like decreasing the carbon footprint. Where we need your help is, in the next 2 weeks, we are going to be doing the last phase of our selection process, which we call Selection Day. And we always want to invite customers to that day because we want you to help us confirm that the startups that we are inviting to the cohort are actually solving the problems that you want to solve. So for example, in New York, for the next cohort, some of the companies on our selection committee are Levi, Home Depot, Unilever, Red Bull, and it could be you as well. And so as the customers are part of the process to select the startups, then through the cohort, they stay engaged and again do things like I mentioned for collaboration like a proof of concept. So I'm really excited to explain how SAP is working closely with startups, and I think there's even more opportunities to work with more customers like you. Please feel free to scan this QR code to contact me. I would love to hear you via email. I look at my own calendar and happy to respond to anyone that has an inquiry. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Kange. I appreciate you being here with us today. And I would like to welcome our next guest who is joining us from Berlin. Please welcome Martin Wazowski. Within T&I's new ventures and technologies, Martin is the head of Future Hub, where he, as our chief futurist, crafts and curates the long-term vision for SAP and the future of work. Martin, take us to the future.
I will do that. Let me just share my screen immediately here with the right settings. The joy of home office, people. Well, I hope you can see my screen, and I hope you can see this wonderful little horizon we have here. Because before I dive into the whole of the future, which is a long time, in 20 minutes only, because that's what we have, let's take a perspective, because we might need it after the last 2 years. At least I feel so. Last 2-3 years. It's so much happening in the world. The future is so fast. Let me look at this serenity. And by the way, I will channel Carl Sagan right now, which is a stupid idea because he's so brilliant and so eloquent. But look at this horizon. It gives you perspectives once you realize that there's you. That's it. That little pixel over there. It's a horizon from Mars, where we landed just the last years and started actually to explore, to innovate on how to go out there. Why is this important? I guess, everything you will ever learn, at least for now, will happen there. Everything you will ever transform will be on that pixel. Every Facebook fight that is useless by definition will happen also there. Every line drawing, every completion, every complement, but also every competition will happen there. Now, we need to think about it from that perspective, that we are here together. We heard it a couple of times. Let me show you this guy, Thomas Edison. You know him. It's the guy. 1910, he made his sci-fi debut. This is true. This is his movie, catched on camera like this. He sprinkles magic dust all over his place, and it makes things fly, like the chair. Now, he has an idea. Puts on a hat. He puts on this magic dust. I mean, fairy dust. How much do we talk about that in software? But here he goes. Imagination. Right. So if the chairs can fly, maybe so can I. And where do you think he goes? Well, he goes to Mars. What an imagination. It's crazy. Speaking of Mars, we'll come back to that. Imagine this. I hope you can hear a little bit in the background. Not just tell me from the studio. This is Nirvana, obviously. But Nirvana, Kurt Cobain is dead, Nirvana is dissolved, still writing songs. This song was written this year by an AI. Imagination becoming fact. This is how we go about it. Because with the power of this imagination comes our power of shaping the future. Where is your imagination department? Is it close to the transformation department? Do you have any of these? I think we should, because this is where we will ask the deep questions that get us up every Monday morning. The deep, profound, never answered questions like this one. It drives me up every morning, and I make that coffee and I go, yeah, I'm going to answer that. And the question is obviously, what's the future? We all want to know. But nobody knows. If they do or think they do, they're insane or actually just want your money. But I'll tell you one thing that future is. It's an action sport. How does this compute? Well, if you ever done this, you know it well. You cannot predict what's going to happen, but you can prepare for it. If you think you're doing everything perfect because you trained and you prepared for everything, you're not winning. You're not winning. It feels very wrong before you win because you need to put it to the edge. And this is where preparedness is much important than any kind of predictions. Let me start this with the first chapter of 17 I prepared today. No, only 3 chapters, 20 minutes, remember? Only 3, promise. Now, what is the future? Well, this imagination takes us to many, many places. And this is people actually visualizing these futures. How does this feel? Because, change is difficult. It's a feeling. I mean, take the pandemic. How does that feel? How was your, home office? How is your dating routine? How is your cultural experiences? I'm asking for a friend, right? Don't answer. You're on a mission to make us a global family, an ecosystem, to feel, relevant to each other, to have fun, to hang out. And this is another crazy future. This little sensor from 4 years ago, I think, you could swallow it and could give us your body temperature. What an amazing tool for healthcare, for example. Now that was some years ago. Things are happening. How about this sensor not only getting data, because you are data from your body, but putting data there? Psychology, neuroscience, Moore's law. The grain of rice, which is the size of the format thing, is the white thing. This is a grain of sugar. Imagination, let's put it in a morning drink in a new startup. Drink and learn. German poetry, Gertrude Stein or whoever, and Kung Fu. And try to mix them effectively during your workday. Who knows? Who knows, people? Well, at this Tokyo restaurant, you can't simply walk in and expect to be seated for a sushi. You have to send them your DNA samples. I know it's gross. I know, it's body fluids. I'm serious about this. They call this Health ID. But now you get my attention. Health ID, so each piece of sushi you put in your mouth is tailor-made. And it means some parts are actually 3D printed. That's tailor-made to keep your body and mind healthy. Obviously, COVID disrupted this one. And you know that something is fishy and must maybe be disrupted when our current value systems value a tree that is cut down more than a forest or tree in the forest. Same goes for a whale or such. And how could we the finance and economical incentives be different? Natural disasters like those recently seen in the US, California wildfires, Hurricane Ida, with climate change in front of our eyes and so on. Let me not forget to mention the impact of global economics due to COVID. We said it before. Now, in the future, we see at SAP's new ventures and technologies, which is the bigger organization, a special unit, the Future Hub, where I work. We see things curiously, with enchantment and optimism, and the deep understanding of the human adventure and the future that is happening, the many futures, possible futures happening around us, like perhaps starting a business on Jupiter. Or no, that's not a good idea, but one of the moons, Europa, one of the 79 moons of Jupiter, sorry, not moons, possible new markets for you. Crazy? Crazy? Really? This is why Under Armour is making spacesuits, maybe? Is this why the Berlin, what they're called, scientists, part-time scientists, sorry, it's a funny name, so I really try to remember, try to 3D print this with other companions to build machines for driving on the moon. This is serious stuff. And speaking of construction machines, this is a 3D printer in space. Yeah, it's printing constructions. Why? Because there's no gravity. Can you imagine the opportunity? Everything is transformed just by that fact. Like this guy is building hotels, or at least imagining, because he has an imagining department. He owns basically every second hotel you stayed at. In space, vacation. Or this guy, Joel Susser, I met him 4 years ago, still find it amazing. He makes this prototype to capture asteroid to extract fuel. He's for me like, Bruce Willis in an action movie. He does it. He took the decision because there's business in space. Are you following me here now? Think outside, think of the transformation. 8,000 quadrillion pounds is the worth of that meteorite. Metals, minerals. Do you deal with this kind of numbers ever in your budgets? If you do, call me. NASA gives SpaceX the contract, obviously. And Caterpillar, not so sexy, but very, very sexy nowadays, are building construction machines for the moon for real. And it goes into politics, the social spheres. Your customers are worried because Pussy Riot, an art collective and punk rockers from Moscow, says, if we don't write the narratives of how we are going to space and explore, if you don't set it down, someone will, and you might not like it. I mean, NASA did it in the 60s. Not many people liked it outside NASA and the US, the Cold War. Today, NASA goes and complete each other, completion, complements, because it becomes the solution. And I think this is really good signal how we should think about the future. And let's go super commercial. This is a moon shot. Not really, it's an art shot. It's Estée Lauder paying big bucks for taking us there. And this is art in space, the laughter of humanity capturing a sound wave. Okay, that's maybe not the most beautiful example of all this art project. It was shot out 3D printed on a space station because we need art. We are humans. Human centricity on the planet, keeping it alive is a goal. Industrialization space might be there. What I'm saying to you right now, I could go on with examples of crazy futures, is that science fiction becomes science fact, and for us, business fact, because never in the human history has the present been so temporary. So we need to study the future. How do we do that? What are the methods? I mean, this is tricky. Well, start with attitudes, values, and culture. I mean, if you still try to say to yourself that the only reason we exist is to make profit, you read not the right books about economy. You need to have purpose. The profit is an effect of having a purpose and a business model in beautiful symbiosis. If you have profit, then plan like Soviet Union did. I spent my childhood in Poland, which was subsidiary to the Soviet Union, with 5-year plans, super controlled in hierarchies, zip. Now we tell people, hey, transparently guys, this is why we exist, we love it, I hope you do too. Can you network, can we build an ecosystem, empower each other to experiment? How wonderful. This is where we should be. And it also, look at our skill sets that we try to get here. Look, the skills in decline. I got it from Upen. You saw me on a boat. I will talk about it later. Manual dexterity, not so needed. Management comes 3 times here. I won't go through the list. Have a look, take a screenshot. Now, skills on the rise, learning. Innovation, my job, our job. Critical thinking, so you need to be sound skeptic about stuff. Complex problem solving. Sorry, not only on next quarters, leadership. Emotional intelligence and all these things, flexibility. And it takes almost 1/3 of your working day, so we need to get it into the work. This is how smart systems, how business and technology platforms will help us tomorrow. I love how Nordstrom just transformed that. They said, wait a second, that's hard. We employ people all the time. Hey, welcome to Nordstrom. Rule number 1, use your good judgment on all situations. There will be no further rules. It's up to you. Empowerment, transparency, networking, ask, you will get questions, you will get answers. Now, it can be a little bit tricky. I mean, I've been a teacher some other life. I wouldn't dare walk into this classroom. Look at the ladies in the front row. Like, who are you? Why are you long haired? Why gray beard? And you will tell me where I should be in 10 years, or I should know? No, I have no idea. And that's the truth, people. And with no idea, amazing stuff can start. Truly, science starts with, I have no idea, let's find out. So let's capture that. Let's have ideas, imagination. And let's look at this. This is a slingshot concept from Upen Varve. You saw him a little bit before. It's a dear member of our Future Hub family in NVT and Future Hub. Now, he didn't only initiate the Intelligent Enterprise Institute in Berlin with grand opening in a motorcycle shop. It's very Berlin, I tell you. It was fantastic. Drive-in, because it was COVID. So he made a drive-in, so you sit in a car from a customer, obviously. We have many of those. He also came up with this principle, the slingshot instead of the moonshot. First, see to that you establish a vision content and a framework for that content, how to drive the vision. Visions are imaginary. Okay, so let's lay out the map here. The 3 horizons of innovation, where the first one is incremental innovation. You start to imagine stuff and you say, this is it, how could it be? Second is, how could we expand this? Extrapolate and exist in a bigger sphere. Now the third one, you cannot forecast or extrapolate to, because it's called thought leadership. It doesn't follow anything. There's no technology markets or customers yet, but you imagine there could be. So you make a slingshot, you use the momentum of the gravity to go forth and back. So you establish the vision content. Then you make the vision tangible, you experience it. You make concept cars, like the motor industry have known for years, but that applies to any industry, concept prototypes. So people go, oh, that would be wonderful. They give you attention, they give you money, they give you sponsorship. So you can start to actually make the imaginary real. Activate everyone, co-innovate, to deliver on step by step, transform. One company did it pretty well. You will recognize them. They said, we want to put a computer in a book. This was 1981, people. Computer in a book. must be pretty bananas to say something like that back then. But you say, yeah, you can carry it around like this. You can learn how to use it in 20 minutes. No computer science expert. And it will have radio link, magic radio link, whatever that would be, to connect to all other books and libraries. And they start to take this vision and make it tangible. There's no electronics in it. It's just plastic, I promise you. It's a prototype. But it starts you think, wait, what if? What if it could be like a book? Hey, let's try, let's go to market. Oh, that's ugly. Let's try again. That's beautiful, it's a MacBook. Let's try to make it portable. Nah, too tiny. Let's wait for the technology. Boom, 26 years later. It's a wonderful method that we try to use here as well. Now, Captain Spock, a huge hero and mentor. Science fiction to science fact, remember? You should watch this. This is the inspiration. He's the CEO. He's crazy. He also has the CFO, which is Spock. You know, the pointy ears. He's very logical and so on. And he has chief of operations, who is Dr. McCoy, always afraid that this will go to hell. You know, and they landing on a planet, and it's difficult. It's dangerous. Listen to him.
Dr. McCoy is right in pointing out the enormous danger potential in any contact with life and intelligence as fantastically advanced as this. But I must point out that the possibilities, the potential for knowledge and advancement is equally great. Risk is our business.
Risk is our business, he says. When, by the way, did you hear or gave a talk like that in a meeting to your family at work? He's good, no? Now, look at these folks. They are unreasonable, absolutely. We love reasonable people because they teach us patience, social skills, and so much more. They like real grown-ups, reasonable people. You know, they adapt to the world and the situations around her. This is amazing. Now, if you hear rock and roll music, that's me playing. This is me. I had a career before SAP. Now, what's interesting is that unreasonable people, they really think that they change the world, to adapt the world to them instead. So by pure logic, all progress is this challenging the status quo, the punk rock, the startup mentality. Because all change and all that progress is the result of unreasonable humans. They actually change the world because they think they can. So I'm saying this is important. And here's SAP's use case, our innovation vision. We're working on it all the time. It's a concept all the time. It will never be finished. But this is how it looks right now. Look, these gadgets are more or less loved by everyone. I have one here, and so on, because they appreciate me. They listen to me and they give me what I want. It's a personal device. The service is to an individual. Now, SAP is 50 years of solid process and giving the framework of how you run your business more and more digitally, smartly, intelligently, analyzed, and so on, and into the future. And we think we need to start thinking there's a unit, there's an individual in each of these. And here's our innovation vision. Human ingenuity and machine intelligence in an empathic symbiosis. Humans, machines in symbiosis. That's our innovation vision. And the center of that is this human ingenuity, augmenting individuals to their optimal self. It's like a hyper-personal flow experience rather than this hunting and gathering for Excel spreadsheets. Now, for this fantastic goal, and it's worthy because you know it yourself, you know it in your heart that transactions or processes do not make business or business adventures. Humans do. Let's put them back in the center and support them with these three amazing machine intelligence, like self-evolving strategy. So augment not only the individual, but the whole boardroom. Decision-making augmentation. So we can take sounder, more complex decision, easier. Self-running operations. This is basically operations, processes, functions, routines as a service. We heard from Signavio before. Automating and business process intelligence goes in there. And then self-organizing networks that are autonomous. They think that the centralized and distributed value chains outside where you are today makes you look good and everybody else. It's an ecosystem as a service. We have time for only one example. I'm already over time. Hey.
Good morning, Martin. You will have a fairly busy morning, but there is time for a good cup of coffee. Your biometrics show me that it would be good for you, but just one cup. Remember.
Jump started. Did you see that? How rude. I was asking Christian, hey, what's up this morning? And he says to me that I've had too much coffee and I will have a busy morning. Now, this could be rude, but this thing knows me and cares about me in that sense that I drink too much coffee in the mornings. So I need to be, and I do take bad decisions when eyes go like that. 3 cups, too much. 1 cup. In the morning, well, I'm not good in the mornings. You will be. You will have the same software telling you different things because you are different. You're an individual and you make business in your way. And we want to support and augment that so you stay optimal. Okay, hey, Analytics. I just talked to Leia. We want wondering over our employee satisfactions, how they work together. I mean, optimally, really, how they do that, and how they meet and transact and actually enchant each other. But we also want to save cost troubles. I know, terrible, ambiguous question. Can you help me?
When colleagues travel so they can spend time face-to-face, your delivery quality goes up 5%. That saves software maintenance costs with customers by 2.5%. I found the routes that would make sense economically and that allow the colleagues to spend the most time face-to-face. We will review them tomorrow.
Oh, review them tomorrow. So you're my boss now. That's perfectly all right. You just remove the constraints of my knowledge. I have better knowledge. I don't know how many data silos need to be connected, harmonized, and intelligently processed. I don't know how much business I could make on this technology platform in this future that we imagine if I just had this. I am now smart. I am actually feeling like a normal human being because the smartest app in the world is the one that makes you smarter. So you can also feel like a superhero, like normal people. You are the hero of the innovation story. And I think dealing with data, which we've been doing for a while, you take data, it becomes information and design it to knowledge and then sort of a wisdom, corporate wisdom culture. And if you compare this to products, you get features in there and you serve them to build relationships. How amazing, because this gives me an answer here. To manage features or collect data is not the only thing you could do. That can be automated, but you can nurture relationships. The rest will follow. Where do you want to be in the future? What relationships will you have in your business and in your private life as well? So human ingenuity and machine intelligence in an empathic symbiosis is our vision. And human augmentation and human ingenuity in the center supported by the 3 machine intelligences. Future, bold, risky. Some people do this. Why? Because if this is helping us, we can focus on our passions and purpose. And that's what makes good business. We have noticed that already today. Queen O'Rourke, SAPIO member, she's been in the business for a very long time, the whole family. It's textiles. But she says, no, let's not make new textiles and sell them. Let's take the textiles that exist, that are thrown away, save billions of gallons of water and so on. Let's just do it. That's my passion. That's my purpose. And we want her to focus on that rather than, adjusting margins in your Word document. Let me tell you last story. I'm over time. Promise. I like this one. And I love this movie here with the murals of the birds. I met a CEO from a bank in Europe. She is a fierce leader, wonderful, inspirational. We have a closed door meeting for an hour. I'm showing what I'm showing to you, but I go deep. I go really deep on the things we study at SAP to sort of prepare and to understand the change in the future. Some of these things are pretty mind-blowing. She says, she raises up like this. I mean, she's a tough leader. She's like, Martin, you're showing me chaos. Yeah, that put me off track. I hoped you wouldn't feel like that. Why do you say that? She said, I'm a CEO of a bank. I'm in the business of stability. I said, oh, so the opposite to stability would be instability and chaos. And she said, yeah. I said, there's other ways to look at it. Transformation, not disruption, not chaos. Optimal movement, emergence, change. Look at the movie. How can everybody complete and understand each other like this? It's not instability, it's emergence. It's not optimization and simplicity. It's evolution. It's complex. Love that. It's the human adventure. So I leave you with the last question. Why do you think you're relevant 10 years from now? As an individual, but as a company, as a team? as a family out there? Why are you relevant 10 years from now? To whom comes is big? So don't answer. It's not meant to be answered immediately. If you do, you haven't understood the change and the necessity of transformation. But we can help you. However, start thinking about it today. And you're in the right place, obviously, because otherwise, if you can't start thinking about this question, you will not be relevant 10 years from now. Last demo, last app. We call it pen and paper. It's pretty old, 69. It was a business traveler. He took a company vehicle and went to a destination. It was Mr. Aldrin, 1969. And he took the vehicle, which was a government spacecraft. He went to the moon. And this is his travel expense. So he can get his $33. And he did. Genius. Mr. Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin, 47 years later, making jokes about that in, back then, just an imaginary connection of the world, which is social media. How wonderful. He's a fantastic human being. He doesn't deserve to make this kind of travel expense. Now, we have seen how crazy the future can be, but it's not chaos. It's evolution, it's movement, it's transformation. Now, if you continue to think like that, there are methods to challenge that emergence, the not knowing, the imaginary third horizon of your goals. We also learned that SAP is doing this. Join us. It's a good trip. We love it. And we think we can make it, but only with you. By the way, the music brought it. It's beautiful, no? Of course it's an AI, guys. Come on. Now, I leave you with a poem. Why? Because I think it's the least thing you would expect. It goes like this. First, I need to say that design the future we all want to live in. That's why we're here. So now you have the 3 chapters to combine so we can design the future. And now, the unexpected poem. You're a ghost driving a meat-coated skeleton made from stardust, riding a rock, hurtling through space. So fear nothing. Here we go. Remember to have some fun as well. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Martin. We really appreciate your presentation. Very interesting hearing all your insights, and thank you so much for joining. Now, we are coming to the end of the event, but it is not the end of our journey together. To stay in touch with us, type in the chat or contact us via the email address in the YouTube description. I'd like to really thank all of you for joining us today, whether it was on the Zoom call or via our live stream on our YouTube, the SAP Service and Support video channel. Thank you for being here. And thanks to all involved, Stefan from Waldorf, Kurt from Waldorf, Michael and Bob for hosting us here in New York, Roman, Craig, and Wasilios for the Process Lab Perspective, Forbes and Holger for Sustainability Lab, Kange from SAP IO, and Martin, our Chief Designer and Futurist.
And thanks to you, Megan, and also Ralph, Roberto, Aisha, Ryan, and all the production team here on site and remote, and also the MaxAttention team in North America and globally for bringing us to you. The global journey to the Intelligent Enterprise Institute locations is just getting started. Stay tuned for further news, and thank you.